What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. In today's video, I want to make an update to the October Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Champion Guaranteed events that was leaked out about a month ago. Basically, since we know the brand new Fusion Granyt Doorkeep's Fusion schedule, we can obviously fill in the blanks a little bit. And then connect it all with the October events that we are supposed to be expecting. There's also something important at the end of this fusion that could potentially tie into the event for October that I wanted to talk about. I did do a little bit of research to give my educated take on it. So we'll cover that in this video as well and maybe have a discussion about it. And of course, you guys let me know in the comments below if you guys agree or disagree. But yeah, let's have a discussion about it in this video. So without further ado, let's jump into all this. So first things first, if you guys did not know, this leaked bit of text came out, I believe, in the Apple, download store or whatever. But this came out about a month ago, and this basically highlights some of the guaranteed events that are slated to come for this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collab. So we have the Michelangelo chase happening right now. We just finished the Donatello fragment event. And then the three big events that are yet to come: the Swordmaster Path event, the Hothead Deck of Fate, and of course the Ace Reporter Titan event. Now they did provide dates. Now this is kind of interesting and obviously something that Plarium probably doesn't want us to know. And I call this a leaked bit of information because you can't find it anywhere anymore unless it's a screenshot like this posted somewhere on the internet. But they don't have it anywhere official, so they lifted this news. Now Plarium has kind of confirmed, not confirmed, that this is kind of real, kind of not real. Honestly, it makes sense, right? A Hero's Path, a Deck of Fate, and a Titan event for the remaining champions so that we can get our hands on them. It's possible that the dates are wrong, or maybe the champions are maybe swapped out. But right now, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense, but it's all subject to change, so definitely take this with a grain of salt. All right, so with that said, I did update our little calendar here with the known events so far. So obviously we know the Donatello Titan event has just ended in purple, and then we have in green the Fusion calendar. We know that it's going to end on a Sunday, and then based on the leak notes, we have April's Titan event starting the day right after, on the Monday. And if we are to believe the rest of the notes, we have Leonardo's dedicated path event will start on the 7th to the 10th. And for completeness sake, we have Raphael's Deck of Fate event starting on the 13th to the 16th right here. Now, I've already made my speculations on what Leonardo and Raphael's events will be. I'll further strengthen my argument and my suggestions here with what they could be, but I am still thinking that Leonardo's event will include shards. It's very, very likely. If you think about it, currently it's the 23rd, right? So 23rd to the 25th, we have a CVC happening right now. And usually they always have progressive events happening on Tuesday and Wednesday for CVC. Now, if you look at Leonardo's event, slated to start on the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, it is starting on Tuesday, which is a start of CVC as well. And usually there is a progressive event or 2 days of summoning events happening on Tuesday and Wednesday. This is very likely to be shard related for Leonardo. And as the leak documentation suggests, there is a 5-star soul along with Leonardo the champion. And to accomplish basically a champion and a 5-star soul, most of the time we've seen shards. Shards are just easier to get more points. If Plarium wanted to get real nasty, they would do something like Alatreon's path from before, where it was just soul stones and training. Now training alone would be absolutely just devastating. It's a lot of work, and obviously a lot of energy would be required just to get one of the champion, let alone champion and soul. So hopefully it's going to be shards, because I think that's probably maybe most accessible to most people, just because the training portion would be way too intensive for newer players to get. And then that would lead me to basically assume that Raphael's Deck of Fate would be Soul Stone related. It's one or the other. I would think it's very unlikely for Raphael and Leonardo to share, similar resources. So for example, if Leonardo's shards, I would expect Raphael to not be shards. Because over the weekend, we probably will see just regular shard events. As per usual. And then it would be just absolutely absurd if they went shard, right? So it'd just be absolutely ridiculous. So one or the other, soulstone shards, and then probably energy as the secondary requirement, whether it's through dungeon diving or training. And I did do a kind of breakdown on what to expect for a shard hero's path. Like I said, for a champion of Leonardo's caliber, like a void legendary, for a collab, we're probably expecting somewhere around 25 sacred shards worth of points. Yeah, it's quite a bit, but there's also precedents already for 25 sacred shards worth of points. Last year we had Fatalis from the Monster Hunter collab, and that's what he cost. So yeah, we should expect Leonardo to cost at least that, factoring in inflation and all that. The other big thing that probably will happen is that since Leonardo's Heroes Path event lands in this April Titan event, his Heroes Path likely will have Titan points in it, as well as his soul, as well as the champion. It would be an absolute massive Heroes Path. So it's, the fact that we had, 5 or 6 weeks of heads up leading into it, I don't even think is enough to save to do everything in that Heroes Path. So definitely just focus on whatever you guys can focus on. But again, this is just a reminder that it's not going to be an easy event. And yeah, we had quite a bit of lead up time to prep for it. With that being said, I don't think Raphael's event would have Titan points. Usually, if it's a deck of fate, it's usually just for that one reward that they're advertising. So they don't have like Titan points with, a champion reward. Speaking of Titan points, so this is kind of the main thing I wanted to bring your attention to that I was receiving some comments about, and I think is the detail that most people missed in their kind of fusion preps. And it's going to be, let's take a look at the calendar here. So this is the end of the fusion. We see it ending on a Sunday, and then immediately based on the leaked documents that April's Titan event will start directly on the Monday. We do see a champion chase ending right on Sunday. Now, I did receive some comments and some speculation saying that could it be possible that the Titan event bleeds into this champion chase where there would be Titan points involved in this champion chase? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible because the dates on this in-game data leak or whatever is not 100% set in stone. It's definitely possible that the Titan event starts earlier and does have some overlap with this champion chase. Now, this might affect some people's fusion plans because if you guys recall, the first week of the fusion, there is a summon rush, and there will be a epic available in this first summon rush. So this might affect whether you want to go for this epic or not. If there is a high chance of Titan points in this back end champion chase. So, again, this is just for planning purposes. Let's say you got the epic from the first week summon rush and you were planning to skip the champion chase, but then once the champion chase opens, you see that there's actual Titan points in it, and now you need to participate in the champion chase just to get the Titan points, etc., right? Just to get April, or you want to participate in getting April. So it's definitely a planning thing. Now, while I think it's definitely possible if there was a mistake in this kind of date formatting, I did do some digging into the past fusions plus Titan events where this has occurred, where Titan points has bled into the fusion leading up to the Titan event. So I'll bring you guys some documentation here. So basically, this happened for the Thor Feyhammer fusion event. So this was the first time it actually happened, and it caught everyone by surprise. But there was a surprise, well, not a surprise, but there was a bonus summon rush here at the tail end of the Thor Feyhammer fusion event. And this was really devastating because you could actually finish everything without actually dealing with this summon rush. But what Plarium did was they squeezed in Titan points into this summon rush, and basically everyone had to jump in, right? So what happened was that they had the Titan event. This is the pattern that I've seen with Plarium. And this is why I think that if the leaked info is correct, there should be no bleed over. So there should be no Titan points in that champion chase at the end of this Granyt fusion. That's if the dates are correct. Okay, so what happens is that during Thor, the Thor Titan event actually started on September 17th. So it started at the beginning of this summon rush. So at the beginning of the Summon Rush, it doesn't start at the end of the Summon Rush, for example. So the Titan event, from what I've seen from the examples that I'm going to show you guys, actually starts at the beginning of the last summon event that it bleeds into. All right, so this happened with Thor, and then this happened with the stock broken fusion as well, where they had a summon rush in the back end here, and on December 6th was the start of the Sir Nick Titan event. And in this summon rush, it also had Sir Nick's Titan points as well. Sir Nick didn't start on the 9th. It didn't start on the 8th. He started at the front, at the beginning of the summon rush. So again, that happened there. And then the other example, the most recent one we had was the Tholin Foulbeard fusion. And then the subsequent Titan event actually started at the beginning of the champion chase on June 13th. And in this champion chase, the Titan points were evident in the champion chase, and it bled into it. So with that all being said, based on this, and then based on the calendar that we're looking at, you can see that April, start of April and end of Fusion do not overlap, and the start of the champion chase at the very end of the Fusion do not overlap with April. So if these dates are correct, there should be no overlap. There should be no Titan events involved in the last champion chase. So that's kind of like my argument about it. I know a lot of people were wondering whether there would be some kind of bleed over, that Titan points would bleed into the champion chase and basically just force people into participating in the champion chase to get Titan points. It's possible if the dates are incorrect, but based on what we have, it doesn't seem very likely. Now, do I think this is a good opportunity for Plarium to actually do this? Yes, I do. I think this is a good setup for Plarium to actually put Titan points, in this back half champion chase and get people to, basically do the champion chase no matter what. So we do need to be a little bit cautious here. At least I am going to be. Personally, like I said in my Fusion schedule plan, I'm going to go for the rare only, and then I will be participating in the champion chase at the back half of the Fusion. Now, something else that I want to point out that a lot of people have mentioned actually is that people are saying that this champion chase event will probably be 2x Ancients. Now, it shouldn't be the case. It should be 2x Sacred Shards. We just had 2x Voids on the 19th, and on the 5th, we actually had 2x Ancients. And then 2 weeks prior to that, we had 2x Sacred Shards. So the upcoming 2x event on the champion chase should be 2x Sacred Shards if it's following the pattern. But, the big thing on everybody's mind is where is the real 2x Primal event, which is super long overdue. Now, I would have to imagine that that event would probably be happening relatively soon, to be honest. And if it has any connection with the Fusion, I think leaving yourself open to participate in all of the summon events, kind of makes sense, right? Like, for example, if you were going for the Epic in the upcoming Summon Rush, and then you were trying to skip the champion chase at the end, and then suddenly it's 2x Primal event on the champion chase, then you're kind of stuck doing it anyways. So it's a little bit bad that way, but honestly, the 2x Primal event is just so good. You're going to be pulling regardless if there's an event or not that's happening. And we've been waiting a long time. The last 2x Primal was end of May. So yeah, June, July, August. It's been 3 months, right? So it's been a while. So we can probably expect that event to happen sometime soon, I think. The other thing is April's Titan event for April. Now, I haven't had a real showcase with April yet. I haven't had an opportunity to test her out. I think her kit's a little bit complex, and to find situations where she's going to be excellent are not as obvious. So she's not super easy to test. I'm not 100% sure how she would fare as a Titan event. I think most people would probably try to get her as a collector's item. Now, there's a secondary reason why you would want to get April if you don't have her already, and it is going to be this special gift pack here. Now, you have to get all 6 characters, unfortunately. But if you get all 6 characters, so the 4 Turtles, April, and Shredder, you get this little gift pack here in your shop. It's actually, I think, pretty good, but you do have to collect 6 champions. It's a little bit difficult. This mythical relic's actually really, really solid. You get this cool avatar and then a couple decent gems here and this cool frame. Now, the hardest one to get will be the Shredder. And then that's going to be, a conversation for another video, perhaps. My feeling is that Shredder will probably be a winner take all in a champion chase or maybe a champion training at some point. And you know what? Plarium still has time to put Shredder's 5-star soul somewhere, Raphael's 5-star soul somewhere, April's 5-star soul somewhere. So they still have time to do all those events, potentially in winner take all, shard events or winner take all training events, or maybe even another deck of fate. You have Raphael here in the second week of October. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collab doesn't end until November, so there's still actually time for all these events to happen. But yeah, this little gift pack here is actually pretty good value. Like I said, the mythical relic's actually pretty solid. It is going to be, a special event relic, but we will have opportunity to get these relics again as per Plarium, saying that event relics will appear again. And I guess I'll end off the video with a little bit of speculation for the end of October. So if April's Titan event ends on the 23rd, I think the 24th would be too early to start the fusion for the Halloween fusion, of course. Most likely, I would say the Halloween fusion probably starts, let's change up to orange for Halloween, probably starts on the 30th, like that. So a little bit of a lull here after the Titan event, and then leading up into the fusion. I think this kind of makes sense. A Halloween fusion starting on the 30th. Traditionally, Plarium has usually started the Halloween fusion very close or on Halloween. So there's no reason for them to start it super early or even at the beginning of the week, like on the 27th, for example. And traditionally speaking, the Halloween fusions have been okay. Some of them have been borderline not great, but haven't been super slam dunks, to be honest. So it's a lot of stuff going on, and yeah, there's going to be things where we're going to be tempted to spend resources, right? Personally speaking, I'm really interested in trying to get that mythical relic from that little goodie pack, but that's going to be a really tall task, especially trying to get Shredder, which should be a winner take all. And honestly, I don't even think Shredder is going to be able to give back that kind of value. I don't think he's that great of a champion. I wouldn't probably use him. So it's really tough to justify going kind of all in to get him. Hopefully he'll be part of some kind of guarantee, perhaps at the end of this collab. That would be kind of nice. Maybe get his own deck of fate or something like that, or own hero path. But if the fusion were to start on the 30th, we can expect it to basically bleed into November and basically into the end of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collab, which means there's probably going to be some crazy events for Ninja Turtles happening during the fusion. But yeah, it's just an insane, amount of stuff happening, and all we can really do is just focus on the prize, right? So it's really, encouraging to see you guys really focused in on trying to go for the October events as opposed to, just wasting resources or whatever on a fusion you don't need, or bad bait events and stuff like that. So it's really nice to see some of the comments saying, okay, I'm just gonna save, I'm all in on the turtles. And that's totally fine. Hopefully Plarium comes through. Like, I really hope Plarium comes through and basically sticks 95 or 99% to this schedule. That they all get their own guaranteed events would be awesome. If they try to do like some kind of rug pull on us, it would be absolutely like insane. It would be insane. Like, I'll be uproaring with you guys for sure. I would absolutely hate it, and they would absolutely get an earful from everybody. But I do have to say that, it's a disclaimer, right? Like, these things, they're leaked information. They said there's some inaccuracies with, the calendar dates, not necessarily the dates, but this info. There's some inaccuracies. They didn't specify what, and they didn't outright say it's not real. So we have to assume there's probably some truth, and, logically it makes sense that it is probably logical to have these events for those champions. Based on past, collabs and all that, it totally makes sense. But perhaps the dates are not right? Perhaps some of the details are not right. But we do have to take this with a grain of salt. So, hopefully it works out for all of us, and hopefully we get what we're going for in the end. So anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully it was informative for some of you guys and helped you guys out with some of your planning. So like I said, the big takeaway from this is probably the champion chase. In order for the champion chase to overlap with the Titan event and have some Titan points in the Titan in the champion chase, is for the Titan event to start when the champion chase starts at the back half of the fusion. And based on the notes above, it's starting at the end of the fusion. So therefore, should be no Titan events in that champion chase. All right, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think, how your plans are going. Let me know if there's anything that I missed. Really appreciate that. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Would really help me out. Best of luck on the fusion if you guys are going for it. Thanks for watching until the end, and I'll see you guys in the next one.